Hi everyone, welcome to Real Number System. So Real Number System is your basic on how to understand numbers. Okay, what is real numbers? So real numbers, we know that it is the union of rational numbers and irrational numbers. So when we say it is more on the definition on the structure of a number. Okay. Okay, when we talk about rational numbers, those are numbers that can be expressed as a quotient of a over b of two integers. So it's integers, okay? So the a is the numerator, while b, which cannot be equal to 0, is the denominator. So a over b. So if you can express that as a fraction or a over b, it is a rational number. So when we talk about rational numbers, so rational numbers could be identified into three. First is integers, fractions, and decimals. So when you talk about integers, there are negative integers, zero, and whole numbers or counting numbers. So those are your rational numbers that are integers because you can have their denominator as 1, right? So fractions, you know fractions as a over b. It has already that. Now, when you talk about decimals, decimals could have an identity as a rational numbers. So its identity is repeating. When you say repeating, the digits of the decimals are repeating, and it is other would be terminating. So terminating like 1 over 4, that is equivalent to 0.25 or 25 hundredths. That's a terminating decimal. Okay, now let's talk about irrational numbers. So those are the numbers that cannot be expressed as a quotient of a over b of two integers. So every irrational number may be represented by a decimal that either repeats nor terminates. So they could repeat, however, you cannot see a pattern on it. Okay? And it didn't terminate. So we have examples of that when you have your radicals like square root of 2. When you get square root of 2, it is continuous but doesn't have any pattern. Square root of 3, you have pi. Pi, which is the 3.14. 3.14 is an estimate. It is not the exact value of pi. Okay? So let's have now the members of the irrational numbers. So it could be classified as the non-terminating and non-repeating decimals. And some special numbers, like what I told in the previous slide, like the radicals were square root of 2. Those are not perfect square numbers so that we cannot identify it. Pi, the e is what we call the natural logarithm. You can search about natural logarithm. Okay, and there are others. Okay, in general, we could say that real numbers, so it is now the union of rational and irrational numbers. Now, rational numbers could be integers, fractions, and decimals, while irrational numbers are non-terminating and non-repeating decimals, or these special numbers. Now, when we talk about integers, those are negative integers, zero, and whole numbers are known as accounting numbers. And then terminating and repeating decimals could be classified as rational numbers because you can convert that to a fraction. Okay? I hope you learned something about real number system. Thank you for watching.